turbo trucks, third class modified four-wheel drive trucks, and the fourth class Pro Stock Super Stock smoker tractors. Glad to have you here tonight. The 249th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence and our great 4th of July weekend. Hopefully everybody has a safe and enjoyable night with us. And come back here tomorrow night, fans. And then, this is my first of 5 events in an 8-day stretch, because Monday night we're going to Franklin County Fair. Of course, that kicks off on Sunday. It'll be the 60th annual Franklin County Fair. And Monday night at 7 o'clock. Small block and big block mini lots, modified four-wheel drive trucks, 1,000-pound high-plane tractors, two-wheel drive trucks, and 500 street diesel trucks. On Wednesday night, 2 tractors and 95 and 13-pound farm stock. Monday night 7 Wednesday night 6 p.m. Thursday evening at 6, Thursday road tractor pulling series. And Friday the 11th at 6:30 p.m.
I had my big one in the truck.
With modified small turbo profile mode high-speed semis at 6:30. Check out the website, Facebook page, and fair. Don't back here to a food fair event on the 15th of July.
Is that your picture?
Always the Saturday before the fair kicks off. All small block, big block, mini lots, modified four-wheel drive trucks, large street trucks, and dirt drags. Then we'll be back here Monday night, July the 21st with dirt drags, 95 turbo, and 85 Wild Street. Tuesday night's pedal pool. Wednesday night, July 23rd, antique farm stock. Thursday night, modified. Whoops, that's Plainfield. Thursday night, farm stock pools, 24th. These all start at 7. And Friday night, the famous Shippensburg Fair, Friday night event, 7 o'clock. Modified four-wheel drives, Mark Turbo. Full-up production classes that we're running here tonight, limited pro tractors, kickoff, and the 3-year diesel trucks. That's all Friday night, the 25th here. Let's see, it will be the 7th annual Shippensburg Fair. Shippensburg Community Fair, I should say.
Yeah. Please get it up off the hill there.
Before it gets too noisy, we'd like to recognize and once again thank the Shippensburg Truck and Report Committee for hosting the productions classes here tonight and helping with the meal that was provided to all the competitors and family and crew members, along with Josh and Brandon Martin and Martin who is here to see them. Scott Camp, Derek and Devin Goodhart, and Paul Hope from Midland Farms. Appreciate those fine folks. As always customary, tonight and tomorrow night.
You're listening to the sounds of Brian Yeager, Shippensburg Pull-Off, Night 1, Pull-Off Productions, right here in the Shippensburg County Fairgrounds. Brian Yeager on the mic. Ray Kaufman is our track official. Joey Radel is your, he's getting all the signs and stuff put out. Darren Allison is going to be your sled on the Terminator. There you see Joey right there. Joey Radel of Pull-Off Productions.
Marcus Whitman of Shippensburg and most power equipment, also Shippensburg. Appreciate all those folks being sponsors for this big 2-day event here that has been customary for 15 years or more. Folks tells me that mic's cutting out, so we're going to see if we can remedy this loose connection here. Thanks to somebody that brought that to our attention. Oh, we have trivia questions. I'll go trivia questions. Thanks to Easy Recycling for a bunch of hats and shirts. Thanks to Martin's Roofing for a bunch of shirts. No, I'm not talking a cup. I have enough to go through the entire Shippensburg Fair. Let's see. Easy trivia question. Number one trivia question. The first tractor company offer a standardized power takeoff. Standard PTO, first tractor company to do that. That's good for a shirt or a hat. Come up to give the girls your best.
See it on your screen there. It is 85 and feeling good here in Shippensburg. 85 degrees, 7 miles an hour wind gust, and feeling beautiful. Great weather for this weekend. Lined up here in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
Unfortunately, we need some more pullers down on the track. We're talking down at the driver's meet. Competitors, pullers, drivers, crew members, you name it, with the track. We can use your help. With that group, thank you very much in advance.
Class lineup for tonight. We have a hot farm exhibition, 1 or 2. Then we're going to get started. Our first official class is going to be the 3.0 Limited Diesel. Second class is going to be Light Limited Pro 4.1s. I don't know that we have too many 4.1s. Class number 3 is going to be Modified 4x4s, National 4x4s. And then we're going to end the night with the Pro Stocks and Super Stocks. And we got about 6 of those. We do have a LED board at the end of the track. LT Ocker takes care of that.
He's up on the leaderboard.
He's in that truck?
Yeah, he's right there. Lefty twice right there.
Okay, I see him.
Yeah, he's running the leaderboard. So they're just having tons of difference.
From the Table Mobile Cafe. Should stand up here near the flagpole. Shippensburg FFA has the ice cream wagon there, shipping concessions, and Smith's barbecue chicken. And they also have Santa Claus drink. Appreciate those folks all being here. Well, Ray's just giving me a demo about the microphone, so I'm going to clear this mic. How's that, Ray Kaufman? Okay.
How much time do we have in between them? What's our max time? 5 minutes?
Check. Clear this microphone volume. Let's see. First, if it's too loud. answer to that question, the first tractor company that had those standard power takeoff was International, on the Model 816, manufactured from 1997 to 1922. That was a long time ago. Here's another trivia question. Who invented the steel moldboard plow before John Deere? He got a lot of credit for that in 1837. He invented the moldboard plow made out of steel before John Deere used it. We have some players down there to help us with flag duty, including Megan and Amanda Bickman. All right, fans, look at all those drivers and crew members out there ready to open up a big, beautiful American flag. Wait till you see this thing. It is huge. Are you ready for that, man? at that. That is beautiful. Well, fans, at this time, please rise and observe that big, beautiful flag down here in the center of the track from our national anthem. It's so fitting for this 4th of July weekend. Some noise. Make some noise. And now, some smoke. You know, 3 presidents passed away on July 4th. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Monroe. And I believe 2 of those actually helped with the writing of the Declaration of Independence. So it was near and dear to their heart, kind of ironic or maybe even a little odd that they passed away on July 4th. Terry Tanner is going to be the first of many people out here in front of the Terminator. The Terminator sled from Allison Trucking and sled run out of Chambersburg. From New Columbia, Pennsylvania, on worst case scenario, case 970 that's new to the track this year, runs a hot stock class. He's just getting some track time here tonight. So we'll follow him with our first class of 3 limited pro-stock diesel trucks with 9 competing. I will be followed by the light limited pro tractor class with 14 competing in that second class. Third class has a dozen modified 4-wheel drive trucks. And the 4th and final class tonight has 6 Superstock pro-stock smoker tractors. So sit back and get comfortable this night. Temperature's good, track looks good. We have a nice crowd of people here. Thanks again for your, I know there's a ton of things you could do on the 4th of July. You're going to hear and see fireworks from Shippensburg somewhere around 9:30. But we're in the middle of the class. We're probably going to keep going. You can obviously watch, but we'll keep going. If we're between classes and the time's up right, they may have a little delay. We'll see what happens there. Nothing's etched in stone. But just to make you aware, somewhere around 9:30 tonight, you will see the Shippensburg fireworks. The sponsors from Kickoff Production is Ag Industrial Power. compact tractor, 5, 260 to 29, 4 to 600 horsepower. Any size tractor from small, medium to very big, skid loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, and hay equipment. Contact Eric Industrial today, or you can visit one of their store locations, Rising Sun, Maryland, New Holland, PA, Tamako, PA, or Dover, Delaware. And thanks to Chesterfield Industries, 4x4 off-road diesel performance sled pulling driveline, located in Bordentown, New Jersey. They specialize in trucking and off-road components for all your driveline needs, axles, and more. You can call them today. Chesterfield Performance, 609-743-0595. I hear that case firing up. Terry Tanner's friend and mechanic of Chris Hoyt, the famous case guy from Shippensburg. When they put the thing together, this is the latest one out of the shop up there in Shippensburg. And I saw Terry drive this the other week up at Williams Road. It would have been about the 21st of June. And he did a fine job with it. Fish top this year, it's only about the third or so run on back of stuff because of 970. It's going to run a hot stock class here with the pull-off production folks. £9,500, 20.8 38 tires on the back, 3.1 turbo. You can run a heat pump through the intercooler, or if you want to run an intercooler, you're back up to an 8. There's Interstate Coast Farm or East Coast Hot Farm. Same deal. And it's a ripper. Chris standing there in front of the sled waiting to come out. I want Chris with the nut case. Here in the stress case is not here, but the nut case is. The white lines on the track are, of course, bright and shiny here before anybody touches them. They're 30 feet apart. And no tire of any truck or tractor is allowed to touch those white lines. If you do, that's a DQ. That's like going over the line in a wrestling match. You're done no matter how well you're running or fighting and whatever. If they make the sled zigzag hard enough that it touches the white line, that's okay. But if they get so close to the white line that the mud flap on the front of the sled touches and wipes out that chalk, that's okay also. So this thing has one good looking, good sounding case, and I just love the paint scheme. That's that popular 70s series that, let's see, 1969. Late 69, they came out with that 70s series. There's still a good looking body style. They ran that up to about 78. And they were the tan sheet metal until up through 74. And in 75, the sheet metal turned white. They called it power white, replacing the desert sunset. Well, this one has both. So how could you go wrong? They put a home run on that paint job. And I like the stance of the tractor. I like tractors like this that have a short cage, driver set's just a little bit low. Front end's just a lower than level. It's a tough looking tractor and it runs as good as it looks. So that's case fans in this area, and of course all the Hooks are here and they're famous for their cases. And if you're not a case fan, I think you'll like this one anyway. This is exhibition only. Out of Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, with the Hoyt team, Terry Tanner from New Columbia driving, and he also drives a big dump truck for Chris Hoyt. He calls it worst case scenario.
9.1 miles an hour on the speed. That's pretty good.
Satellite measuring system of the trailer stand that leads directly in front of the antenna to transfer without the map or in case you didn't do it. That's a nice added feature. But you ought to be tickled with that. And put it on that tractor. And put it on that tractor. And first stop, these are cups. So you want to say, you want something 3-inch inlet on the trigger, 26-inch hitch height, 8,000 pound motor, 6-inch limit. Compared to it. There are 5.9 tons of 359. The 7-3 power stroke was 444. The 6-liter was 366. 6.6 Duramax is what, 402 or 4? So they're allowed to punch them out. We're going to bring up to 460. And they're going to have a big tank, a 35-inch tall tire that's got to be approved in transportation, no point. Now we're going to lose with that. This is the house class. Andrew Gossett from Rome, New York is going to be the first one with American Rod, 250. He was up at Williamsburg the other week. He'll be followed by Jeremy Brick with old Jenny, the first Jen Dodge. All they're doing back to back. Matthew Holbrook will have to run with the first Jen Dodge anyway. Jerry Brown will play a time on Randy Woodward. Well, cool. Just a same handball scene, the handball scene, that's the other. A very big support there with the last, with Mark Andrews from Public Enemy. That's a Ford. And then the Trent with the Mason Dodge.
This is the class list we have. Those 9 here.
Says it's still cutting out on the microphone and on the cordless. So if I was a betting man, I'd say we probably have a bird nest and there's something going on over the winter months. So I apologize and checking batteries. And I'll try to make it as best I can. But we may have to have somebody look at it tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll try to make do.
Isaac, 331.96. And 22.92 miles per hour, 29.2 on the speed. The youth carrying it on. Next up is going to be Old Jenny.
And that distance, 3 and 16. Jeremy Cook at Kingsley, PA, up next with Old Jenny. That's the first gem, launch 2,500. The first gem was 1989 to 1992 over Boston. And this is the last series of Duel for that first gem. This is a good run on track. Old Jenny.
Mosquitoes for us. 339.7 and 30.8 on the speed.
300 feet's way back there. Launch comes on the left sideline, looking out there. That launch stops. all my another fine sponsors. Thanks for the use of the tractors and equipment. The power out there. Oops. For working here in the government. Still tall, but at least it's one of our sponsors. Naples Railroad, and Newburgh, and Dan Hershey Auction Service in Colorado. This is the number 3 truck in the class. Here's the other second gen badge. This is Panther Holbrook and Broncos with Chevrolet. Cheap and current points.
Jenny Light goes 341.31, 341.31, 30.4 on the speed. Bad Karma, first time I've seen this truck. Good looking Dodge. This is a shakedown of our leaders right now. Six more to go. Legs 342.85. Put him on the top spot. 31.2. Getting even faster. We're building a road. That's what we call it.
class tonight. Down on some horsepower a bit. And 7/16 of an inch turbo. Tractor class here tonight. Not do the right point class. But the old 50-10 John Deere. He's 114.
Amanda Weekman's just putting up a fight coming up next. Coming out of Chest Spring. They always do a good poll at the end of the year. Horsepower Hill on Facebook if you want to follow them.
But the tractor, so we've never been the truck too. And I said, well, nobody's going to be upset that you brought this truck. You're talking about a sharp looking 1978 model Ford Super Cab. It's got a bit of an older grill in it, maybe a 77 grill, but it's a 78 Super Cab. And it works great. And it runs as soon as it works. And the Weekman of Chest Spring, Pennsylvania, were just picking up the fight. Next to the last year for that sharp body style that the young folks call dent side Ford. Watch this thing go, folks, and this is girl power. He's there at the driver's door, and we'll see him in the next class of the 10th competitor in the class of 14 right-loaded pro-stock tractors for this sharp old 50-10 John Deere. But it's her turn now. Just putting up a fight. Everyone gets 2 attempts. And put another turn tonight is 100 feet. And that was only 7.02 feet. So Meg's going out there to make sure everything's okay. I believe it's just a little bit of a clutch issue. If she can slip it and try that again, she'll be good to go. Terminator will drag her backward and reset. And she's getting it. It's the halfway point of this class of 9. Thanks to Science of Shippensburg for their long continued sponsorship. And thanks to Stein Seeds of Greencastle. Stopping there to 210 mark, because you get a good chance to get a picture of that sharp-looking truck sitting out there in the sunshine. Somebody put an awful lot of time and effort into that paint job. It looks like it's got some rust seeping through it. That is a good looking. And it's Cummins power, in case you didn't hear it. So is the next one, Sam Harbaugh. And Harbaugh is not too sure. She does a good job. This is number 7 in the Pittsburgh class. Also runs Stoddard County and whatever. It goes a tough year. Next to Permanent Services LLC of Boring Streets. And thanks to Newburgh Auto. Thanks to Southbound Storage of Shippensburg. Sam's backing in. You can see that everybody in this class is out there poking around the track, and they determined that the best spot is just a little bit to the left of center, because they're playing follow the leader. A little bit to the left of center. Sometimes this track
Sam Heimbach coming out of Middleburg, PA on the Ford F-250.
So they snuck on this side of center, and it's working. Each one, with the exception of Amanda having an issue there, each one goes another foot or so than the previous truck. Let's see if that happens this time to Sam Heimbach's Ford. .83, 343.83, 31.5 on the speed for Sam. We're dropping down to Mark Andrews of Stevenson, Virginia. I should have known that. My apologies with the old inside true. Mark Andrews and Public Enemy. We went to Williamsburg with them 2 weeks ago. You saw this guy take the win in this 3-0 class. Once he got that changed up there on the hill. Thank you, sir. This truck is number 4 in points. And it is a river. Let's see, it looks like a 79 last year for the Dunn side. And a hard to find Super Cab long bed. Let's see if he's got another win for our area. First to Williams Grove back on the 21st and 4th in current points.
347.1. I mistyped on the 352. That was actually 342 for Bad Karma. So that puts Mark Andrews on the top spot. Bad Karma is 3. High Box Diesel's 2. That's what they're chasing. It's like Brent Fink coming up next. No Mercy.
4,000 through 7,000 antique open and a 9,500-pound John Deere Tucson class. Wednesday, July 23rd. That day, an antique tractor night. He's ran over a little bit to the left. Looks like a fourth gen. Somewhere in there. Random shake of Beavertown. Calls it No Mercy.
340.71 for Brandon and No Mercy. There he is, Rich Wolf. He was a big winner in New Jersey. That's where he's from. It's his home state, New Jersey. He still had to go a couple hours to get there. It's a very tall state, New Jersey. He had to drive about 2 hours. That was earlier in May. Last minute. Literally taking his last minute. Had some issues, so he dropped. Spot. .347 and 10, that's what he's got to beat. Of the Public Enemy. Of Mark Andrews. Rich Wolf is on the other side of that farm hall there.
That's a John Murphy. No. That's a single. That side. And it's number 3 in current points.
This is what they're chasing, 347 and 10, 343, 83, 342, and 85 for Bad Karma. That's your top 3 in this 3-hour limited pro.
That's Shippensburg. Shippensburg also has liquid. That's his roof. Stop out sitting line up by the So we get the Franklin County Fair over well. And then we'll come back. back here for like the 67th annual Shippensburg Community Fair that are celebrating, we're celebrating 46 years of practical compared to Shippensburg Community Fair. You know, Shippensburg is the second oldest town in Pennsylvania west of the Susquehanna. There's only one town west of Susquehanna, PA, older than Shippensburg, and it also gets the credit for the oldest fair, and that is York. So York was around for a long time, but Shippensburg's been around for a long time also. And they have a beautiful fair. We'll be back here on Saturday night, July the 19th. So that's the week after Franklin County ends their fair. They have many large modified four-wheel drive, large small block mini tractors and dirt drags. And then Monday night the 21st, dirt drags, route street trucks, and 95 Mutual and Ag turbo class. Hey, last just in this class, the football we're doing in New Jersey with the last 75, 6 or 7 regular cab Ford. Number 3 in current points.
Winner, Rich Wolf, last minute on the last hook. Shaking it up a little bit, Rich Wolf. Congratulations, you're the winner of the 3.0 Limited Pro Diesel class. Check out these sponsors of Full Pull Productions. Couldn't do it without those guys. The first of 14 in the class. He's right. Down from Mount
on a binder. John Deere was born in Vermont. You know John Deere. It's one of 1066s in the class. And a half pass international. And along with them, many Olympians John Deere. And we have my Eclipse John Deere. I have Andrew Hook on the case. Smith on a New Holland. Paul Forster on a New Holland. This is
Going into the 85 Light Pro stock.
But a nice mix of class tractors in light limited pro stock.
Going to get it started with He's Right and Midnight Edition, and then Brent Naylor, Elbow Deep, Kenny Ripien Jr., and Green Machine. That's our first three.
Together at 9,500 and 10,000 pounds. But this light limited class, 5-inch turbo, 8,500 pound, 540 cube limit, or they can run 9,000 pound with an 8 pump and 4.5-inch turbo. You start getting up there to a 4.5 and a 5-inch turbo. That's an expensive daggone turbo. Not like the last class, but still expensive. And these tractors are making power. These tractors are going to be up there at 5,000 RPM, so I'm going to give you a point to ponder that you may have heard me talk about last season. At 5,000 RPMs in these engines, that is going up 53 miles per hour. And it comes to a screeching halt, and it goes down 53 miles per hour, the screeching halt. It'll do that 166 times a minute. 53 mile-an-hour piston speed at 5,000 RPM. And these turbos are going to be going 100,000 RPMs. Let's see how it goes for the first guy. He's right with the Midnight Edition 1066 from Vermont. He'll have the option to keep it and turn it down and come back at the end. I've seen this guy go. This will be my first time. His first time in Shippensburg. That'll make us both new at this one. Right in the middle of the track, he's getting nice and square with that sled. And the Keen down there, making sure he's back there and hooked up good. His wife, Joan Keen, up registration, working hard as usual. Appreciate that couple being here from over around River Street area. All right, good to go. So he's right. 15 in right limited pro stock.
This is what they're going on, is talking about it, seeing what they need to do. What would you do, Dave?
What do you think? And if they tell him to take 32 off, and that's possible.
gets done, well, we're gonna reset the flag.
And I believe Chris Possum is going to take care of this. I don't think that's really what he knows. But there is box coming forward. Sled operator's going to get between the board and the box and increase the gearing on the transmission that moves that box forward. We're going to jump it up a bit and hopefully about the third shoot off or the run that Hughes just had. And I'm sure he's got his tractor shut off for now and can hear the bad news from me about, hey, you got to come back. So it won't have too much time to move around for a little bit. It's not almost 96 up or so. There is weight going to go in that box. So the press down is going to be greater. Even the box didn't have it up there pretty darn thick against the stop. So we're going to go to 2,000 more pounds. The sled will now weigh about 50,000 pounds. For these 8,500-pound tractors, 85 and 9,000. We're running two different groups here. They're allowed to get in there together. So that's 346 is going to pair. On this tractor, if you've ever been to Nationals, out of Springville, Pennsylvania, the 1466. Called Elbow Deep. It's a good-looking, good-running tractor. They do the first on your sled setting, and you will have the option to keep it in compact. These guys don't like to compact. They don't like to have pull-offs like they did back in the day, because these things are super expensive now, and most of them are not running any food. They're all dry block, and they get hot. You run them once, and shut them off. It's a sharp-looking black stripe, 1466. The last year, it was routine. And that black stripe was 1976. How fitting on this weekend of the 4th of July. All right, I just got word. He's a 4-1 tractor, Vineyard Pro. So he's got a bit of a smaller turbo than this class allows. Let's see how it goes for him. Elbow deep is because of occupation of being artificial inseminator. But it's a ripper. Out of Springville. The green machine, it's under the 4830 that we used to run. When I was running a turbo fast, but he was moved up.
Kenny Ripian out of Liberty Town coming up next.
John Deere friends, one of our two John Deeres in the class. This is a 4840. Maybe they do in 1978. We would have had the first 66, but I was the third one. About 4,000 40 Tiger Strike tractors out of Liberty Town, Maryland. Down getting close to Frederick. It's called the Green Machine. Big thanks to Sensitive Shippensburg, and thanks to Easy Recycling of Orangetown. Drop it down, and we'll move to Matt's driving the 8570 called Black and Blue. guys tried to line up with other coat, so they're getting their issues taken care of. Hopefully, Black and Blue doesn't have any issues. He's sitting there learning. Nice to see
This is what we got tonight. 14 in the light pro stock. I think this is Black and Blue. I think we had an injector issue. They're working on it over here.
Started life as a New Holland 8570.
See if they can get that figured out for their hook at the end.
Yes. Let's make it easier. It's the best-selling car in history. Make and model. Best-selling car in history. We now have 2 down and a dozen to go in this light limited pro class, brought to us by Pull-Off Productions.
Now we got it right, Black.
And I see Shippensburg double duty here tonight. We had the first one and the 12th one. Tradition, we'll be back after we get Duel, getting the class started. And then there's the Midnight Harvester here also. Both 1066s. Alright. Chain getting tight on this New Holland. We'll be back in business with this class. And let's see if we can reach out there and set a new mark for the remainder of the guys. We're the first stop.
Smith, Matt Smith driving in case you're keeping score at home. 29128, 29128.
About 60 feet. But tie those rails and between the white lines, don't want to run it off the end of the track. Then go to Mark's next. It's on the turn 9700. 8700, I'm sorry. 9700.
29128, that takes over the top spot right now. Still a lot of good iron back there.
All kinds of that strike up 8700 for shipping.
Thanks to Mark Smith for helping out with the meal tonight. Made some chicken. We had Green beans, really good. Macaroni salad,
Delicious as usual.
hot dogs, and barbecue. And sweet tea and lemonade, thanks to those guys. And the Martins for helping out. Forrester.
And we'll see if that helps. He's looking for some fresh starting line clay under those 24.5-inch wide back tires. My fault, I had similar questions back to back. If you were here and answered the trivia question, come on back, we'll give you something. And then I'll tell the folks the answer. You're going to see a lot of chicken grease come out the back of this 8700. That's running on flyer grease. Mark Smith with faster red. Number 4 in current points. That orange cone marks the leading distance of his younger brother. It's a 291.2.
We call him the Chicken Man, 26411, Mark Smith, faster yet. Kodiak coming up next.
And thanks to Full Road Engineering for their sponsorship. They're located in Fort Edward, New York. They specialize in truck and tractor pulling and diesel component service. And parts like blocks and diesel heads and more. Full Road Engineering. 518-747-0626.
I see fast forward, but I also see the storm right behind him, and fast forward's cranked up, so I guess we're going a little faster forward.
That's nice fast forward. Well, who's coming in now? So that's not the middle of the track. Everybody's first. Good point. Because that first feet is so important. Want to make a good finish, you have a good start. This tractor is number 6 in current points.
Change the gear, put it away, either way.
Matt Smith is he does everything. He works on these tractors. He's an excavator, doing roll-off services now. He's a little bit everything.
Mark Smith finished second if you were.
Been one of the charter members of the 7700 Light Limited Turbo class for Interstate. Been pulling a long time. Used to be up about 60 hooks a year, this guy.
Was back about 5th.
Been out at the Gordyville, the old Gordyville, the new Gordyville.
Now he's already had one pass down this track with Black and Blue. It's our current leader, and the phone is marking that spot at 291.2, so he knows about the sled setting, the track conditions, what have you. I'm sure he's working out a strategy. As I speak, that's looking very out front.
$334.73 from Matt Smith, going about 31.7 on the speed. You know what it was? It was that sticker coming off. Once he got his registration sticker off, cleared up the weight, and he got down the track. That's what they need to do. Lose your sticker.
Up next, hurry up. Sit down there with that sharp looking star.
Class 4 goes into the top spot, black and blue, elbow deep. I got it wrong distance for faster, yeah. No, you know what? That might be right.
Oh, that is the best-selling car in American history. Best-selling car in America for a long time has been a Toyota Corolla. Now, my car behind that, super hot-selling cars in this country, the Ford F-150, the Volkswagen Beetle, and the Ford T. But the Toyota Corolla still holds as the best-seller. The best-selling one-model blue car in America was back in 1965. They sold 1965 Chevy Impalas like hotcakes, and nothing has outsold that make and model for 1 year since the 65 Impala. There comes the tracker. Those Geo trackers are handy vehicle. And when they say, why are the stores all like the old trackers? I'd say it has a right one. Actually has a little red one down there. Here's X with the bracket. I'll tell you why. real drive on it works great. But they squeeze in an enclosed trailer. You can open the door. And look, even me can get out of that thing. I don't know about that suitcase weights hanging on the front to help the front wheels carry around this great big tractor. That little car weighs about 2,200 pounds at most. And it can drive around a 9,000-pound tractor. Here's the tractor that's number 2 in current points. Cody West, the Storm 3688 from New Tripoli. The tractor is blown up. But the sun's done campaigning this one. Now let's see how it goes for you road trains. Big out there, aluminum. Sharp looking final series of International Tractor, the 88 series.
$294.43, $294.43 for Cody Hutt. That shakes it up a little bit. Goes into the number 2 spot.
Electrical issues, all gas, and high performance. National FWD located in Buffalo, PA. Visit them on Facebook or their website. And thanks to Carter's Farm Machinery for helping out. Go pull off. Carter's Farm Machinery located on Armstrong Valley Road in Halifax. Thanks for combines and machinery and tractors and equipment. Phone them at 717-362-9574. Certain preparation with the genetic Irish untrue. You have to have a very good picture. At the beginning of the 7,700-pound light limited turbo class that made its debut right here on the Shippensburg track years ago, this guy had a 966, and he was an early number in that light limited class. It didn't take him too long to move up to Mark Turbo, and then a few years ago, he went to like Clifford Township, Road, in Conference. People woke up in Toma, Wisconsin, even with all the rain, he was told that they could mess up there. They would finish third all the Toma tractors in Toma. But his first in points in this class. Fourth or fifth. They get this road enough tonight. It's a minute. just got us to the halfway point of this class.
Puts him in the number 2 spot, does Jeff McLaughlin.
Stock, super stock tractors. The 6 in the class. Lots of fans like over these tractors, no doubt about it. And they're going to make fun of history for their companies. Got one of those wild green shops on it like his wife's truck. Somebody put a lot of time and effort into making it look like it's rusty, but this is a beautiful tractor. And it's a replica of about a 61 or 2 model John Deere 5010. But she's 2024 or 2025 under the hood. Well, when that came out of the John Deere factory, that was a Memphis tractor with a 531 naturally aspect. 600 diesel rolling up. Didn't take long to morph that into a 5020. Got a turbo for the 6030. This is a beast. And I like that little 5010 sheet metal on there because it gives them more room under the hood than a skinny 4020.
I know you hear fireworks. They said once the fireworks show actually starts, we'll pause the class.
That chest spins thing cause a chest to hook him up. Number 8 points. Let's see if he can move up. Well, if we went to World Square there a couple weeks ago, we saw this one take the win. And this was back 8 points. He missed it. But he didn't miss it in World Square.
Just hooking up 296 even, 296 even, 29.1 on the speed. They're getting bogged down right in the middle of that track. Look at that little Geo tracker right there backing up. That's the star of the show right there. Perfect pit vehicle.
That's his flag. And Vincent now should come about helping out my vehicle. The guy driving the tractor is the guy that's got the Bowman tractor right now on his rolling thunder. That's been very fast as Doc's truck.
That's a big hole!
We're in low range. We're not coming from that big truck. We're walking up out of those holes. There we go, that little tractor doesn't work. the replica of the that made its debut in 1965. International's first turbocharged tractor. And they were a whopping 261 cubic inches. Now it's 540.
He is behind the outfit of Full Load Engineering, is Chris Pomeroni, so thanks for helping out.
Thanks to some lubricants and Duel local weapons salesman located in Waynesville. No name on this one, just that sharp 1206 from Cameron Schmuler.
Taking over the 5 spot was Chris, and it's 1206.
Let's go over to the right. So we have 5 people in this class, folks. If you want to see a guy win, you just might see a guy start over in the right corner and then veer down the track and end up over in this corner. Because this corner is better at this end. I can't tell at that end, but everybody's been starting in the center or the left. Let's see if somebody starts on the right. Who knows? Look to the right. And I think he's probably going to come my way. If at all possible, that's easier said than done. That's that might drive you on one side or the other, but let's see if we can better this way. He's right. The interspeed. tractor halfway down the track and come clear up to us, and then that would be a disqualification. But a bounce there at the end like that, the wheel coming out.
200.91, 23.4 speed. See where he falls now. That puts him in the 10th spot. Fast forward hanging on at 340 and 334.73 in Dominion. Look at that, we got New Holland, Case IH, and John Deere.
Case 97. Followed by Eli Zimmerman, and Corey Forster and Hugh Flight.
Screaming Eagle, been for like 40 years or so. Paul Hope.
And then with 105, 4-wheel drive.
There's Fred Hope helping him out.
The first one with the GMC up in Virginia.
Doesn't look like Paul. It's not Paul. We have Andrew Hope pulling it. Tractor's been around, like I said, at this pole long, long time. One of the founding members here. Hope family still very much involved in this pole.
Bobby Martin was in the seat of one of the John Deere's tonight. Russell Hope and Josh Martin. And Jeff Possum. They're all four John Deere's. And Chris Hope with the nutcase and Josh Martin with John Deere. So 5 out of 6 will be green in that final class. Andrew Hope got the old Screaming Eagle fired up. This is granddad Paul Hope's tractor. It's probably in that Case IH Pullman scraper. If you had $1 for every time this tractor has gotten in front of a sled, you'd have plenty of fuel. Back in the day, this was a Superstar tractor. It had multiple turbos on it at one point. Then it's backed up to a Mark turbo quite a few years ago, 8,500 pound, 540, with about a 4-inch turbo. And it pulled a long time in that Mark turbo class on the interstate circuit, but it moved up to limited flow, right flow, for a few years ago, along with Art, Nicolaci, and a couple others. The class was pretty small, but it helped get it started. The grandson, 3rd generation Hope from here in Shippensburg, on a Case Boom tractor. The Screaming Eagle, that's famous. Oh, 4th of July weekend. The Screaming Eagle, the Bald Eagle, was adopted by Case Company way back when they had steam engines. It was actually a real eagle from Company C during the Civil War. And they called him Old Abe. But he turned out to be a she. The she already knew her name, so they kept the name. But that's a true story. Old Abe from Company C, and Case adopted that eagle. And Paul Hope made a play on that and called this thing the Screaming Eagle. Well, before Harry Davidson. I was used to running that 930 sitting back there.
Yeah.
So, I was used to running that 930 because it's hard for him to see. But he's going to run a little harder this time.
Put it back in my try it again.
And hopefully it goes better for Andrew Hope. Nice Dance walking over there to make sure everything's okay. And then maybe unhooking it. And rules state that if you have an issue, you can unhook and come back at the end for your second attempt. that may be what they do. Other than that, I'd like to thank 1-3 Performance, located in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, along Route 309, that specializes in light-duty diesel repair and performance transmissions for Ford and Dodge platform trucks. 3 Performance, supporting co-op productions for the 2025 season. And supporting us is Dan Pesci Auction and Tent Rentals from Colorado. And Edson's Repair Shop from over in Shippensburg. Those coming down the sideline here go back to see what it was that thing, and I sure hope they get it taken care of. It's always great to make a good pass on the hometown track in front of friends and family, and it's always terrible when that happens. That's this sport. If Andrew was down in Fishersville, Virginia, and no one knew his dad or his pap or his family, or where Shippensburg is, he'd probably win. That's just Murphy's Law in this sport. This hard to win on the hometown track. And when you do, it has to be a good feeling. Even when I was living in up next, he's from the country. Now, you know where that is? That's right down the road from Allentown, where they have the big famous truck show that I went to a couple Fridays ago. Right down the road from the Metcalf plant. The country is home. So it was 1466. It's called Red Trooper. Not because it's a slouch, it's because he didn't make it to many. Let's see. He missed the first 3 events. Then he went to the second, or the 4th and 5th, and missed the last one at Williams Road. However, he got a 4th place finish in Kempton, which is close to home. But not so close to home. This guy's going to go up 81 to the 78 split, and then he's got a long ride out Route 78 to get home. Hope it goes well for him. Sharp looking, light-headed, 1466, make sure it's 71 to 74 model. And it's been for quite a while. It's called Red Fever. Could have had a 436 motor in it from the factory, and of course, no doubt up to 540. Now, 540 International was like 454 kickoff Chevy. Actually 468 or something like that. It's easy to soup up the 466 to 540. Goes 269.27, 28 miles an hour. Shippensburg, talk about hometown track.
Puts him in ninth spot.
650 cubic inch motors.
Looks like they got the injector line right.
This guy on his hometown track for a while. His wife just went off the end of the track with him, side by side. Cole Forster, Daddy Green and Blue. Let's see how this goes. He's got a Kurt running out there to give us some more input.
You see Kurt Forrester helping out Court.
He's ready to give it more because he's cranking right now. He's got it fired up. Don't want to start him too soon because they're overheat. But he's got to run long enough to ignite that diesel fuel. Because if we take the fireworks are going to be loud tonight. These trucks are going to be loud there. Right here in front of you.
Outstanding run. And they said, well, it's 360 and some, 340 and change. Let's reset it. And see what he can do this time. Greencastle Livestock Market Incorporated, Keystone Crop Insurance Services LLC, Roofing, and Modes Power Equipment LLC. We're going to call in great sponsors for this weekend, and we appreciate their help. That makes it affordable for the people to come in to eat through the gate. He's getting her lined up nice and straight. That's very important. He's right. Had a rough ride with the Midnight Harvester there that bounced the grill out at 200 feet. This is Midnight Edition. And let's hope a good pass here makes up for the grill. It'd be nice to have one leg he had earlier, huh? He's hoping for it. One of 54,1066s that were cut up into a pulling bracket. She started out as a 1066. .87, 307.87, 29.9 on the speed. This is how it's going to shake down.
Looks like I took hardware here. They shuffled things up quite a bit.
Takes over the number 3 spot. Matt Smith, fast forward. You're the winner. Demented, Case IH, Jeff McLaughlin, number 232201.
To go, if he does want to come back.
Well, I called it prematurely. We might have one more hook. Hey, take a look at these sponsors real quick. Thank all these guys for helping out Pull-Off Productions this year. Spring Garden Shop, 1-3 Ag Industries, Full Load Engineering, Dixie Drivetrain, Hasler Diesel, Foreman's Grain LLC, East West Drilling Incorporated, AKE Stop Fire, the world's best fire extinguisher. I promise you.
I will get a tow tractor down here. That's right. Tow tractor here, after the end of the track, maybe look at that now. I'll go slowly. Matt Smith, your home wheel. The fast forward. The spinner. That's the smoking. Line 334.73 feet. Second, take ecological together. Between 22 and 1. Third. Play. Shippensburg. The best signs of Shippensburg. The best of this Irish of Shippensburg. Shippensburg repairs and machining and quality parts.
You have 3 people left on.
Little farmer truck driver. They're shop looking for someone to do machine work. Spring driving repair located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on the side of job. Specializes in research, machine work, approach distribution, machine work on gas edge tanks, connecting walls and more. Top quality service and reliable products to keep your engines running smoothly. Give them a call at 717-768-3060. Spinning Road Repair. Spring full-on productions for the 2025 season. So the way it was used for a pleasant, modified four-wheel drive trucks. First right in the face. Shipping a 6,200-pound weight limit and a 650 cube limit, naturally aspirated, no blowers allowed. And somewhere around 1,300 horsepower outside. 6,200 pounds. At Duel, Virginia. It's got that Bristol 98 GMC car cut loose. 78.
This is the rundown for the National 4-wheel drive class coming up on your screen. We'll start off with Cut Loose, Mason Brizendine, then the Silver Bullet, Leroy Cubbage, and then To the Extreme, RB Muller. That's your first three.
And it's looking good. Lots of people setting off home fireworks. I believe the town fireworks will take place about 9:30. So it's going to take longer than that to get through these 12 trucks. Mason had watching the people that come back. And he'll be followed by Leroy Cubbage, with one of only 2 points in the class. One Dodge, and it's got a Chevy motor in it. Everything else is Chevy. For you Hilltop fans, you'll like this class. And if you like noise, then we'll go back smoke at the end. The 6 in the Super Pro tractor class.
'62 National coming right now, but we're also going to have an intermission with the fireworks. Don't know how long that's going to be, but it shouldn't be too long. 12 in this class, 6 in the next, 18 hooks left. Hope you've enjoyed the stream so far. We've had good connection. Love the scoreboard by LT Ocker, doing the distances and the speed and the names.
Family meeting paperwork. Looks like we're ready, and the first guy says move that sled over to the left side. A 98 GMC. Here's a trivia question for you. What is the most accessorized vehicle on the road these days? I'll tell it, girls. The most accessorized vehicle, I mean make and model, for sure and that. The last two for that part of style. Very good trivia question. What series was that truck from 88 to 98? The answer to that would be a 400 series. That's what Chevrolet called it. They used to be everywhere, and now they get kept fun, like everything else. Mason Brizendine, so of course you know that name goes with Dragon Motorsports down in Virginia. He's from Dunsville, Virginia, because of Footloose. Like the Footloose song? First of the dozen, and the green is out.
337.59, 337.59 for Mason Brissenden, 29.4 speed for Little Pup. That's what they're chasing, 337.59. Leroy Cubbett, Silver Bullet, coming up next.
He only has one two. He fights one coming down the sideline just to get out of the way. Because he can't get down here. I just think it's a great salt.
One GMC, one Dodge, two Fords, and all Chevrolet.
I forgot. Good young lady here is real warm on that trivia question. She's got the brand, she just needs the model. And we need a filling. Here it comes out of Stanley, Virginia. You talk about a ripping through it. It's called the Silver Bullet. 2000 model. This is 35 years of Leroy Boom trucks. Raises chickens down there in Stanley. I hear it popping. Oh, that's why I do motor. I think Cubbish is having problems with it. I do if they say Cubbish needs to drop down. I do motor out of Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. There's a long time truck competitor, big time farmer from Harper's Ferry. Got a Dodge Dakota with a big block Chevy motor in it. And it screams. It's called Two Extreme. Cubbish got the problem taken care of, but RB's already out there. We're going to leave it there, and we'll go with Cubbish after this one. Two Extreme. From Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. They'll swing through down here, they'll come and round up like a door spring.
good run for RV Moeller. No WWPTV stickers. They got that Truck Pulling Unleashed sticker on there. Remember that old website? They used to get on there and talk smack about everybody.
But alcohol is, and the hemispherical combustion chambers are. And this is a heavy big dog food because the header pipes are about 4.5 feet apart. That thing's got one big, fat, hemispheric motor in it. Let's see if it screams. Already. The time remains. Message fan on Madison, Virginia, postal show.
317.73 for Leroy. 317.73. 26 point something on the speed. Looks like a 3. 26.8 on the speed. Big Show Blue coming up next. We'll be in Madison next Saturday night.
Losing 50,000 people on the Cotton Trail. I don't know if you've heard of Gettysburg. I guess there was a lot more there, but Gettysburg lost 50,000. Fans are fans. Been going for about 10 years. Chevy from Madison, Virginia, and it's called Big Show. And he's over in the left lane. See if that helps him. So I guess I got the trivia question answered. We were given that ring notice and things. The most accessorized vehicle on the road is a Jeep Wrangler. People can't keep their fingers off of it. I'm not talking about ducks for accessories either. I'm talking about lift kits, wheels and tires and fender blowers and lights and you name it. Pole jacks and roll bars. Jeep Wrangler. First year for a civilian Jeep was 1946, of course. They didn't have to do with all the parts left over from the war, and they made thousands and thousands of them. So they called it a CJ. It stood for Civilian Jeep. CJ2A. That was the second edition, 1946. A big show. Going forward and waiting on a green light.
Matthew Fant, 324.62, 324.62, going 28.8 on the speed. Like I said, we'll be in his neck of the woods Saturday night, July 12th.
Down from St. Charles, New York. That's a long ride. And he's been the Terminator over on the left
Could have been
side.
the number 3 spot so far.
Oh, good. He's spending papers to that race so bad. This is a wild child. That's a wild one also. Well, powerhouse trucks in this class.
I hear him starting up. We're going with Wayne Tapscott, Tasmanian Terror 2. Coming up next. We're going to skip Wild Willie. We don't see him.
We will go with Wayne Tapscott, Tasmanian Terror 2. Started life as a second generation S10 and really its top. Outpost Virginia. sanctioning organizations, and he's more than one-time punch champion. So, to pass this lunch now. Rosenthal got loose got the pass started, so he was within 7.5. back to Chevrolet. Chevrolet's out front. And second. This is
behind Mason from Tasmania here. That'd be 33699. We'll find out. High Anxiety went 326.45, putting him in the number 4 spot so far. Coming off a win last week in La Plata, Maryland, RB Moeller. See if he can back it up. I said, hey, you think you can? He said, I need to start doing that.
Thanks to Stone Crop Insurance Services in Winsville. And thanks to Shepherd's Tire Service Incorporated of Shippensburg. First drive up this pass started. Threw it out there to 337.5, and everybody's trying to catch up to him. That's Mason Grisendine. Wayne Tapscott pulled up right behind him at 337. But he only hit 5 more, trying to meet or beat that cover.
33514, 33514 for RB Moeller. 30.6 on the speed.
Tough competitor folks up from Stanley, Virginia. Virginia Outlaw 2.0.
$4.75 for Chet Lamb. Sounded rough on the end there. 324.75.
see the real is back in the number 8 spot right now. It's really remaining. Here comes the new truck. The real Hitchcock. Will's got a set slam down on the track. Not on the height.
Hey, did we ever find Willie?
Wild Willie?
Yeah, Wild Willie. All right. This is Will Hitchcock, brand new build. She said no. Number 5 spot was She Said No, coming out of Montrose, Pennsylvania. He said, my other truck is just sitting in the shed, the old home wrecker. One of your hometown guys right here out of Shippensburg. Chambersburg area.
This is modified 6,200-pound truck, Chevy 2500 HD, called the Camper. Beautiful. I'm in this modified class.
29027. Let me put this on the screen for you while you watch fireworks. Alright, welcome to the free stream for those tuning in on public. We've been here all night in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. This is Joey Radel, Pull-Off Productions said I want to give y'all something for free, just a few hooks. Here's the Super Stock, Dual Fuel, Pro Stock, Class. Take a look at these sponsors real quick. Couldn't do it without Spring Guard Repair, 1-3, Ag Industrial, Full Load Engineering, Dixie Drivetrain, Hasler Diesel Performance, Foreman's Grain LLC, East West Drilling INC, and AKE the Stop Fire. They're the best. The world's best.
That just got finished up at the wee hours of this morning. So good luck to all of them. 5 John Deeres and a case. This will be the 4th and final class here tonight. And big thanks to our great sponsors and the ladies of the Fairgrounds. Thanks. about that? I'll make some noise for the fireworks folks. That was good timing. We were in the middle of the class. Good timing for them and us. Big thanks to our note sponsors for tonight. Andrew Wilson, Class 8 trucks. Davis Truck Repair, Franklin County's largest towing and recovery company, located just south of Shippensburg. Greencastle Livestock Market Incorporated. Had a major role in the building of this building. Appreciate their continued sponsorship. Kingston Health Insurance Services LLC, Winspear. A jury record that puts a ton of time and effort into the events here. Mine Trip, located in Walnut Bottom Road in Shippensburg, long-time sponsor, long-time business in this area, not only roofing, so building and construction materials, trusses, you name it, lumber. And Moats Power Equipment Incorporated, another local business with a new location out here, just off the King Street exit, and bringing us that Avant loader to move the 2,000-pound weights around. It's even on their website, Facebook page. You can check it out. Talk to them if you're interested in Avant loaders or equipment, you name it. Moats Power Equipment. Appreciate all those folks helping us out. And it helps you out by keeping the admission affordable. So, a pre-fair event will be here July 19th. That's a Saturday night, 7 o'clock. $10 adult admission, $5 for children. New rods, modified four-wheel drive trucks, and dirt bikes. And the top six, this will be the second event for dirt bikes. Top six will go to the shootout on the 26th, which is the last night of the fair. Monday night the 21st. Dirt bags, 8,500-pound wild street trucks, and 95 nutrient ag triple farm class. 7 o'clock, Monday night the 21st. Wednesday night, antiques. 35
This is our lineup for the Superstock Dual Fuel What's Up.
Hang-on weights, 9,500-pound two-cylinder class. Wednesday the 23rd. Thursday night, 75, 95, 11,500, 13,500-pound farm stock classes. And Friday night, the big fair event, modified four-wheel drive trucks, light pro-stock tractors, which are doing that. King of the Farm brought to us by Pour-Off Production.
Oh, did you see the lineup? Here's the lineup. There was Bobby Martin going to be driving That Darn Deer, Russell Hildebrand, Loose Cannon, Josh Martin, Think Green, Jeff Podum is going to be on Fully Loaded, Chris Hoyt is on Nutcase, Josh Martin is on John Deere Green, those six tonight. The lineup was a little bit off. Sorry about that. Nutcase is going fifth.
Fireworks.
Lord willing.
And the final invitational shootout for the good guys. So
Bobby Martin coming out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, right down the road, about 15 minutes
and do the shootout
down the road. That Darn Deer, one of the first ones they built. The old ag chassis.
I believe Shippensburg Community
I believe it's a
and 46 years
7710.
tractor pulling there at the Shippensburg Community Fair.
I'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Well, the guys did a good job tuning up that track. Looks good from here. 6 of them going to come out and tear it up. And Bobby Martin will be the first drive with That Darn Deer. And his mom, Patsy, is here tonight. And Robert, I'm sure, watching down upon his family and cheering his boys on.
All right, now I got the correct
Super
order.
nice guy.
There we go.
A little bit of Robert and Patsy Martin history there. Before they got great big-time farming, they had 2 tractors. And their big tractor for all the farm work was a John Deere 720 diesel. And their loader tractor was a 600 series Ford. And they did a lot of work with those 2 tractors. They liked that 720 and they moved up to a big 3020 and stayed green after that. They went down into Maryland and got that Super Stalker, the Green Phantom. You know that tractor's still around. Went through quite a few owners, and Howard Lynch has it in the East Coast or Atlantic hot farm class now. It's called Fentanyl and Green. That's the former Green Phantom and Got Milk. Josh Martin changed it to Got Milk later on. They came out with this John Deere 7710. Liked it so much they built the second one. Van Slittle built it for them. It was called the Dairy Deer. I think it's broken. But 3 out of the 4 pro stalkers are here tonight. And this is where we started in our area, right on the Shippensburg track. There's the Terminator coming up to the line. We're going to wiggle in line with the cone that Bobby Martin asked to have it placed there a little bit to the left side of center, it looks to be. There's wiggling back towards the middle. And every corner has that option. Just call it off everywhere you want it. They just move that corner around. He backs right up, centers up with it. And that's your lane that you chose. And if you're coming down the track and you go from one side to the other, that's just fine as long as you don't touch those white lines. So this is a heavyweight. Now I guess the only heavyweight tractor in the class, I'll tell you about that real quick. Back in the day, the rules stated that you had to have a John Deere block transmission housing and rear end housing. All that did was make a ton of machine work and expense for the owner and the motor of the tractor. So there's a John Deere transmission case under his feet, and it is completely gutted. And in there at about a 45-degree angle is a profile 3-speed transmission hidden inside. And inside this rear end is a whole bunch of heat, fuck, rear end carrier, and ring and pinion.
No, I didn't.
And
I'm gonna look at it tomorrow.
and the parts in there.
I'll look at it tomorrow. Is it hot?
And I've been in for this one with Robert about 4 times, changing the opinion ratios. That guy, he would just work like crazy on the farm, but he'd go in the shop and he took the cage off this tractor, pulled the fenders, the back wheels, the brakes, the drawbar, you name it, he'd have it sitting on the wheel bars. And I'd go and it'd be all gutted and we'd change ring and pinion. A lot of people think Robert Martin and Josh were, farming and driving these tractors. You wouldn't believe the work they'd put on. Changing the cylinder heads and the turbos and the clutch, you name it. He'd split this tractor in half just to have the clutch inspected at the beginning of each season. And I used to say, boy, heaven, how you do it. I'd be worn out. But he loved it. We changed ring and pinion in this tractor about 4 times. I believe it's got a 373 on it now, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll tell you what, it's going to zing the touch if it does like it always did. Bobby Martin on that barn deer, first of 6. That's 8.69 feet. He can back up and try it again. And if that doesn't work, he's first pillar, so he can unhook and come back again. Plenty of chances being the first pull. He hasn't been on the seat for 15 years, and this tractor hasn't been out for a while. So I'm sure that they'll have a couple cobwebs. Joe's jumping up on the side there to make sure everything's okay. And I'm sure it will be. Sounds good. He's just going to get it wound up good and tight. And let him... But they're also talking about the
.29128, 29.1 on the speed for Bobby Martin and that darn deer. Sled guy, lead guy, sled guy, and the head official, they're all talking. We're good. He said we're good. Thumbs up. He kept it. We're good.
We also heard about Connellsville said next with the loose kid 7920. That name pertains to him and the traffic. We can call him here a little bit. I don't know what the issue was, but I got a text today about 3 o'clock, 3:30. Russell made the late tonight. So out of trouble. I don't know if it's a bad tire or there's some other issue that we can go in. There was something about 5:15, 5:30 time frame. That big sharp feeder belt. And made it. That's just right back there in front of him. She'll help him get back in nice and straight, just like she helps him get on the tractor. From Western Pennsylvania, loose cannon. It is tough, fans. I'm sure most of you know and have seen it before. Five out of 6 is John Duel. And that's because they're that big belt. Makes it easy to get up there to that big feed. If you start with 619. That's about the fastest you'll see. That's cruising.
291 is still what we're chasing. 269.36 for Russell Hildebrand. Loose cannon. Tough run for him. He was on a roll, too. He was rolling.
Josh Martin from Shippensburg up next to Duel. This was last. That first stop champion, 78. And it got a complete freshen up last year. That became Bowling Green, I believe. I went out there and kicked some butt. Everybody leaning towards the left side of the track here tonight. We'll see how that goes for Josh. I shouldn't say everybody, but most of them. This guy got on a big John Deere corn tractor when he was only about 15 years old. He's got plenty of seat and track time on high horsepower tractors. And was always so good at setting and placing the weights for him and his father. The guy can read a track. Let's see if he read this one. And how it goes for Josh Martin on pink green.
Outstanding run, 356.11, 356.11 for Josh Martin at St. Green. Oh my gosh, what a that front end came up and it came to life. He was right there on that line and then it just took off. What a run for the 78.20. Got to be happy about that one. Taking over the number 1 spot, 356.11. That darn deer is number 2, loose cannon. Then we got fully loaded nutcase. Oh, I'm sorry, I mistyped. We don't have John Deere green. Let me fix it.
We got down the hall, which I thought would be good, and then all of a sudden we're still there.
I stand corrected. We do have John Deere green. It is here.
His weights are already enough flat. Wasn't you?
Outstanding pass there for Josh. fully loaded John Deere coming in.
Big advantage when it comes to tractor pulling. About a 6-inch square foam base. And they said, there it is. And whatever number it lands on, that cost is going to be $500 extra for the push. Now, where the number 4? That's the full class and Duel. So these guys are getting extra money.
Jeff came to the buck in Quarryville, Pennsylvania. Wasn't quite the run he wanted. It was a tough track, though. I know we had a little bit of rain that day and had to put a little extra work into it, and the tractor just didn't hook up. Well, hopefully this Pennsylvania track will be a little bit nicer too.
Bob All, in from Duel, Ohio. That is one good-looking late model tractor. Jeff Hopham, let's see how he does it. And then the long ride into the wow. First time I've really did it. I'm sure this happened with that.
Gonna put Jeff Hodem in the number 2 spot. That John Deere goes to 3, and Loose Cannon falls to 4. We got Nutcase and John Deere Green coming last. I hear it right there.
Living strong, number 2 spot.
There you see the other Martin tractor on the other side of Russell.
First time I ever saw this guy on the track. Listen, right here in Shippensburg, hands down, and the old track, which is where the amusement rides are now. Listen, Claire. Down here to all the events, and of course still does, but we went to the bush power, kids, post-stop tractors 33 years ago. And this dude is known far and wide. No exaggeration. We've got a fuel oil service company up in Shippensburg, and some dumb trucks and what have you. But we're on the shop. At least 4 case boom tractors now, but 2 of them are post stops. This one is stress case. Started, it didn't start right. It's a copy of a case 970. Went back in 69 to 78 time then. Then followed by the last one. That's Josh went down the sideline. Had brand new motor. And that's a larger tractor run by that. Push the trainer. That engine was his last night at midnight. So he's getting a little bit of time on the motor. Still comes out there and gets it sky high. going to do everything he can to be a pitcher. But he likes the competition. He's not bashful all about being a first thing the 5 John Deere. And this place has been dynoed. And I think I'm saying you're right, the dyno stopped at 4,000, but I don't think the tractor did. We'll talk about horsepower. This tractor said really leaps and bounds of horsepower over the past just 5 to 10 years. Horsepower and outputs. Come up against the goosebumps. I don't know if you saw it or not, but keep an eye on the next two here. You'll see a little bit of flame come out the pipe when these things roll up, and right before we start moving them around. And that flame will disappear in about a second. And that's when turbo boost turns on the water injection. And these engines will probably need to go and have the water coming down there to keep them from melting down. There's spraying water everywhere, in the turbo and in the cylinders. But you'll see that water injection kick on, and in an instant, that second of orange fire at the beginning will go away and the black smoke will roll. So this is from a punch champion tractor. Chris's first component tractor, meaning lightweight, custom-built everything. And that looks like a 970, but that's all custom aluminum sheet metal. That's a clone to a case 970. And he calls it nut case. Let's see if we can run the beer out of the woods here tonight, fans. That place has got to be right and wait till you hear the horsepower and RPMs come out of this thing. There's a little too much water for the amount of RPMs. He's going to back her up and just try it again. Everything's got to get the sync, get that turbo spinning. Doesn't that discipline us about as much as him? Doesn't that discipline us about as much as him? But maybe they can drag him out of the way and let him have a hit before he goes 3 hours up the road.
tough run there, 60.52. It's going to put him in the 5 spot with the John Deere green to go. We'll see if he comes back.
I feel bad for the guy because that tractor just doesn't, it always does a good job, and of course he makes it do a good job. Very disappointing. Waited around here all night to go 60 feet. How about a tough luck round of applause for Chris Hay? Thank you, I'm sure he appreciates that. And Ray's going to walk out there, see if he wants to do a new turn, come back with a test look, I believe. And he says, no deal, something's broken. Burn. That'll put him at the back of the pack, of course. Josh Martin went out. John Deere green was broken for a while. This was Robert's favorite first stop tractor. And it got a belly ache a while back, but Josh and Bernie took this thing out there a while. Got a bunch of motor work done to it. And in typical truck and tractor pulling fashion, they ran her down to the wire. Came out yesterday to get it. And it wasn't finished. They hadn't finished it. Worked on it all night long until the wee hours of the morning, and then left to drive home. And he got home at 9:30 this morning. And then he's had all kinds of other work to do to this one. And been green. But he had some help, of course. And we're glad they made it here. This is trash. John Deere green started life as a 7720. And it's a former punch champion tractor with Robert in the seat. And that's helping his memory. And their sponsorship is helping this event every year. Let's hit this thing goes out there at about, let's say, 357 feet. We're putting a foot ahead of the other one. What a way to break in a new motor. Just go out there and hold it wide open.
Hope to see many of you back here tomorrow night.
7 o'clock. The classes tomorrow night will be light limited crew tractors, superstar rear-wheel drive trucks, limited close semis, and the pro super tractor class.
All right. Number 1, Think Green. Number 2, John Deere Green. Number 3, Fully Loaded. Number 4, That Darn Deer. Number 5, Loose Cannon. Not getting it right. The Nutcase. Number 6 tonight. All right. Thanks to all these sponsors for helping put on this, helping pull off productions. Spring Garden Repair, 1-3 Ag Industrial Full Load Engineering, Dixie Drivetrain, Hassler Diesel, Foreman Green LLC, East West Drilling, and AKE Stop Fire. Helping us out. 10:30. You know where your kids are? All right.
Got the flags. Come on.
Thanks for tuning in. We're going to cut the stream.